estaba comiendo, no, comía or comí or estuve comiendo. Do you know which one to pick? Do you know the difference between one or the other? If not, stay for this video, I'm going to break it down. First of all, what we need to understand is the way we see past in Spanish. I've spoken about this in other videos, but I'm going to talk about it again here. Imagine this thing that I created here. The star is us. The star is the present, is our time, okay? It's where we are right now. Everything in the gray area and these lines is the past, and at the other side would be the future around here. But all this is the past, okay? But the way we see the past is different. We don't see all things that happened in the past the same way, okay? Just to have it here clear, and you can download this after so you can have a look and figure it out on your own as well. The timeline, there's a timeline, and the timeline here is represented by this line, this red dotted line. That's a timeline. They're all the things that happened at a specific point, and you want to represent them as done, as finished, as important things that happened in the past, and like things that move the story forward, and key things go here on the timeline. For example, I arrived at 10. Llegué a las 10. I'm saying like it happened, you know, I arrived at 10. I can put a pinpoint at 10 o'clock yesterday of me arriving here on the timeline. I can also say, sí, comí bien. I ate well. That's yesterday when I ate here on the timeline. I ate well, okay? Things that happened, things that you did, actions, okay? Things that matter. We have this gray area here, which is everything that was around you eating or you arriving home. Yeah, that's what I said. Okay, so that's everything else. Imagine that you want to make a movie and then the main character is doing stuff, and like she arrived home and then she ate and then she showered and then she went to bed. All these things, you'd put them here, boom, 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 on the timeline, okay? But then you can say it was cold and her bed was undone and the children were playing outside and blah, blah, blah. All this is a decoration, is things that maybe had a point in time, but they don't matter to us so much. It's more like the context, the background of the story, okay? There are things that are happening on the background, okay? Decorations, as I like to say it, to the main story, which goes on the timeline, okay? So that's how we see the past. Now let's put these 4 tenses that I was talking about on the timeline. Let's start with pensar, to think. You can either say pensaba, you can say estaba pensando, you can say pensé, and you can say estuve pensando, okay? What is the difference between all these ones? Let's start with pensé. This is the easiest one to know. Pensé is like, it's on the timeline, and then at some point, I thought. And then most times, I thought and I finished thinking, you know? I thought and I realized something, or, you know, pensé que no es una buena idea. I thought that it's not a good idea. Pensé que no. Okay? Pensé que... It's like I thought and I decided. Boom. And that was yesterday at 10, for example. Maybe I'm not saying the time. That doesn't matter. It's on the timeline because it happened. And that's the main point of my story as well. Okay? Now let's go with pensaba. Pensaba is, pensaba que venías. I thought you were coming. It's not that yesterday at 10 I thought you were coming. It's like I was under the impression in general, throughout my day, throughout all this gray area that is my past, I thought that you were coming. It's a belief that I had. It's not that at some point I made some thinking and I decided something. It's like, I thought that you were coming. It's like in general, decoration, I thought. Okay? Now, estuve pensando. The ones that are pensando, ending in ando, are the gerunds, gerundio. This is the equivalent of ing in English, thinking. I was thinking. That would be I was thinking. This would be I was thinking as well. Both of these ones. If I say estuve pensando, I'm referring to a part on the timeline in the past. I want you to imagine me important, thinking. I did some thinking, but even more, I want you to imagine me thinking, in the process of thinking. So the gerund, the ing, pensando, comiendo, adds the process, okay? Adds a continuity, right? So if I say, estuve pensando que no voy a la fiesta, that means I did some thinking yesterday. I was thinking for a while. It's the same as pensé, okay? But if I say estuve pensando, not pensé, I mean that it's not that I mean something different. It's that me as a narrator, I'm telling the story, and I want you, listener, to imagine me thinking, not like I thought. I don't want you to think about the decision that I took. I want you to think about me thinking. Okay? I want you to imagine me thinking, not about the decision that I made. Pensé que no voy. That's like, I'm not coming. But estuve pensando y no voy. I was thinking and I'm not coming. The important thing there is that I was thinking and then I'm not coming. But I want you to know that I thought about it. You know, I did the work. I did the thinking. Okay? The other one, estaba pensando, is more like pensaba. So it's like in general, in my gray area in the past. But again, I want to add this process thing, this continuity to me thinking. So it's not like pensaba que venías. I thought you were coming in general. It's more like I was thinking. I want you to imagine me thinking while something else is happening. Okay? Maybe with pensar is not so clear because thinking is such an abstract thing to do. That's why I made more examples. So if it's not clear with pensar, also with pensar, it might mean something different. Let's do it with hablar. Hablar is like, to speak. If I say, hablé mucho ayer. Hablé, I did it yesterday. So it's on the timeline, and yesterday I can see that action happened in the past. Something that I did, something that is done. That's it. Hablé con Carlos ayer. I spoke with Carlos yesterday. That means that what I want you to tell you is that conversation happened at some point, okay? And it's important. If I say, estuve hablando con Carlos ayer, that means that I want you to notice my process of talking, that I did have a conversation, and the process itself, the conversation was important. I'm probably going to tell you, and he told me that he's not happy with his work. So, estuve hablando con Carlos ayer. That's the main thing. That's the process of the conversation, the back and forth. I want you to picture me like blah, 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 a conversation. Versus hablé con él. Boom, done, something that happened. And that's the story on its own, okay? But estuve hablando gives it more nuance, gives it more like, oh, this person means that they spoke about maybe something important or, And then if I say hablaba, I could say like, cuando era pequeña, hablaba mucho. When I was a kid, I spoke a lot. I used to speak a lot. It's something that I want you to know that it's not like one day. Cuando era pequeña, hablé mucho. That's like maybe one day. There was one day that I spoke a lot versus hablaba mucho. That was part of me. It was part of my whole past. The fact that I spoke a lot. Now, estaba hablando. Something, it's a process and an ongoing thing that was happening as a decoration in the background in the past. For example, ayer llegué a la oficina. I arrived to the office, boom, on the timeline, y vi a Carlos que estaba hablando con Ana. And I saw Carlos that was talking with Ana. That was in general. I arrived to the office, I saw that as a description happening, y entonces pregunté, and then I asked, you know? So I entered to the office, entré en la oficina, boom, timeline. Vi a Carlos que estaba hablando con Ana. I saw Carlos that was talking with Ana. I'm giving you background. I'm decorating my movie. And then so I went and I asked something here on the timeline. Entonces fui y pregunté algo. These two, hablé versus estuve hablando. If I say hablé, it's like, yeah, I spoke with him. Punto. Estuve hablando means I was talking with him, and I want you to imagine me discussing with him. Me, it was not easy maybe getting to our conclusion, you know? So I want you to see the whole process of us. Estuve hablando con él, it means that there was back and forth, you know? We spoke for a while. I hope that this is clear. Just remember that there are two kinds of ways in which you can express your past. One of them is like general, your gray area, and that includes everything, things that were happening all the time, like ongoing decorations, things that decorate your movie. And then there's the timeline, where there's things that give the action to your movie, and there's the things that you put on the timeline. Hablé, estuve hablando. Now you add the ing, the ando or endo, yendo, and you add an extra layer of process, of continuity, of, okay, I want you to notice that that was a process, you know? It was not just we spoke. No, we were speaking for a while, you know? So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments. I would appreciate it very much if you subscribe and give it a like and do all these things. And I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.